break Elephant a little bit here because this is a decider. Well, it's very important matchups for Elephant because this is deciding if they're going to be making it to upper, lower, etc. So very important for Elephant.
At the start of this, was this a team? Where did you sort of expect to see them place? Like, would you have expected them to be in the upper, in the lower? You know, how have they done?
I mean, with the names that they have, I expected them to be upper. However, after watching them all year from DPC, like even I talked to Lacoste.
How have they done?
I mean, with during DPC, and he gave me like the whole lowdown because he got to see every single game, got to see all the nitty gritty, and he's just like, they're just underwhelming for some reason. You'd expect him to be so damn good with this lineup, but something is not clicking, something's not working. So
sure. So in their head-to-head here between the Chinese teams out PSG, LGD, and Elephant, you would imagine Elephant it's going to be a tough game for them.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the recent, of course, standings between them. LGD in Dota Pit 3-0. Elephant did beat them before that 2-0, but most of the matchups, yeah, it's been LGD taking the majority of them. There is like one big one. This was 10 months ago, so take what you will with that one. Yeah. That was when Elephant won like a 3-1, but I think since then LGD has really found their stride and just they're monsters. So
now, I mean, the question is, you know, if you're in this position as PSG, LGD, you have secured top spot. Can we get some fun stuff from them?
Do you want to be friendly, or do you want to be friendly to your fellow? To your fellow people, right?
Well,
that's the other thing too.
Well, are we going to get some pudge? That's what I'm saying. You know,
I mean, honestly, it's Ame. Right, I don't really think that they're going to really deviate too much because this is TI. They're going to still.
But you want to say you don't want to show anything you don't want to, right?
Sure.
They're going to be picking stuff they've already been picking, right? Yeah, they're not going to. The PSG LGD aren't going to be showing any new strats today.
Sure, I'm looking
forward.
Maybe
they'll be testing. They could absolutely test some strats.
Practice heroes. Like you're something you're not super comfortable with. I mean, they have played their Tinker a lot. They're still looking really good on it. But it's something like nothing to say. That's something that you want to keep your fingers nice and ready with. So could go for these Tinkers. Maybe look for these Chen strategies that I know Shinkyu does like to play. They've played I think already once during this group stage as well. So yeah, just reinforce your strong strategies, make them a little bit stronger. So that's probably the best thing for LGD. And then for, Elephant, it's just going to be a big uphill battle.
Yeah, for sure. No, absolutely. And it's an all-important one. You know, big difference if you're able to make it into that upper bracket going into the main event compared to the lower. Yeah. You know, nobody wants to be sort of in the lower. And it is it's still best of ones. Best of ones, of course, in the first round of the lower bracket. So
it's brutal.
You would be one game away from going home and going out of the competition if you end up in that bottom half of the group. So yeah, a lot to play for Elephant in this first game of the day. I mean, whilst we've got time before the game sort of starts, what else is going on this morning? Anything else that people should be looking out for at home? Any other streams you'd have open right now?
It's SG Quincy. I think that's one of the ones that have the biggest implications because they're both 2-10. Pretty much, if either one, if one of them 2-0s, they're very likely to just be good. The team that gets 2-0'd is probably knocked out of the tournament because their further matches are difficult. I think, oh gosh, I can't remember who Quincy's playing later, but I know that SG's playing Secret later, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's have a look.
So it's not easy matchups for them.
Okay.
So it's pretty much, that's why I'm saying, like, whoever 2-0s that matchup, they're likely to get 2-0'd by the matchup that they're playing later from what we've seen. So, yeah, all important there. And then the other one that we have, of course, on this stream, which is massive, is the IGOG. That's the one that we'll be covering after this one. Huge implications for upper bracket.
Yeah, that should be, that's the second series of the day here.
Yes.
So,
because we do have, of course, the cluster. For you guys who have not been following, Group A is scary. We have a lot of teams with pretty much the exact same scores. OG 9-5, VP 9-5, 8-6 EG, 8-6 T1, 8-6 Undying. So obviously, as you see, that matchup for OG is going to be huge if they're able to 2-0, likely securing themselves.
Yeah, it's the top two of the group. So. I mean, I'll be interested to see if IG. Likewise, I feel like obviously in that match, I mean, IG they're going to go pretty tough on OG.
Oh yeah,
this is no messing around from IG in that matchup. Even though they have secured that top spot, they're going to make sure that they give OG their best. So be a very good series, and that's the second series of the day on this stream. And
there's also a lot of
play for.
Yeah, and there's still of course, there's a couple other good games I think we do have today. I don't know how much of the implications matter for some of the other good games,
sure,
but they're still just like
the teams,
they're just good games.
Going against each other.
Like I'm excited for Spirit Beast Coast as well too, because that one actually does have a lot of implications because they're both, I think,
they're
pretty close, right?
6-6, 7-5. So
very
one
very
game
close.
in it.
Yep.
One game in it between their score runs.
Tons of exciting games, and that's why the last day of group stage is always so fun, because we get to find out all these eliminated teams and who goes forward.
And I think, at least from the amount of scenarios that can develop from today's results, it's probably quite likely we'll have some tiebreakers today, you think?
Man, I think so. Yeah.
I think yeah.
There's been a
So
lot of teams
a
that
chance
just
for
are...
a lot of Dota. Are we in sort of and it is, I guess, set up in a way where I'm not too familiar with the rule book. I'm not too familiar with books. I don't read because I'm an idiot. But anyway, when it comes to like a 3-way tiebreaker, it could be going on forever, right? Is that the format we've got here?
I believe so.
Yeah. So we could have infinite Dota today. I think, maybe. That only happens when we have these tiebreaker days, so it could be infinite games.
Because I don't believe for a lot of these it's head-to-head, especially not for like elimination. It's never going to be like head-to-head. You get to play, so I do believe it. Yeah.
So maybe. So yeah, we could have a lot of games to look forward to today. But anyway, back to the first series at hand, ladies and gentlemen. It has begun, the draft, PSG against Elephant. So let's see what we have here, ladies and gentlemen. Open up with the band, Snapfire and Tide, taken out by Elephant.
Elephant's turn to ban.
An opener that we've seen over and over again here, the IO Storm. Magnus seems to be going up a priority, I believe. Saw it yesterday a couple times.
Turn to ban.
Especially the first two, right? I think it was T1 who was doing that. They're flexing it because it can be a mid hero, it can be an off laner. So now I think it's this really strong hero. I think we're probably going to see a bit more of it as the tournament goes on. ET, I don't even need to say anything. I'm literally the biggest fan of ET, and he is second most picked hero at this tournament with a 66% win rate across 41 games. I mean, absurd.
And 5 seconds remaining.
Just because the hero itself and his nature is just very good? Is it a certain thing about like the way Dota's being played at the moment, the heroes that are being picked? Is this, is ET just really good against some of the hot stuff right now?
I think the hero is just always been really good. I think people just always have
PSG LGD's
turn to ban. Games, but now once you have it maxed, it makes technically all spells are pure because you're doing the maximum. It says 300 damage, you're doing 300 damage as a spell rather than being negated by magic. Same thing with physical if he's standing on top of people, but the hero got a 25% buff in the last patch. It got from 8 to 10 seconds on the Astral Spirit. So where your laning phase in the past might have had some, there's none anymore. Play around level 1 Spirit a couple times, then you get level 3, you have level 2 Spirit. Nobody in the game can trade
remaining.
No, I mean, as you say, just in any team that has the natural order.
Remaining.
That is,
you're going to win the late game. Like
you're in a pretty good position. I mean, you can't, very limited stuff that you can do to scale against that.
He got
those reductions work. And
they changed, like, it's all these little changes that do add up. The ultimate, it now is a ultimate that can be set up with any stun. It used to be a 3.14, high. It used to be that, and now it's like a 2 point. It's another one of the math formula, 0.87 or something like that. It's much faster than it does.
Well, what math formula is that?
I can't remember which one it is.
But it is another.
It's another one, yeah. They changed it specifically to make it another fun thing that's like
ban.
Very Valve-esque. Looking at these bans, since we haven't gotten a chance to touch on them too much, we see the Puck, that big control we've seen so much versus the IO Storm, Void, and Invoker. The Elephant is taken out. And on LGD, they're actually going to take out the Rubik, so protect the Magnus.
Remaining.
They're going to take out the Sven, which is that war cry, which is very useful.
5 seconds remaining.
And it's the IO pairing, so bans looking to make a lot of sense right now.
Anything else that sort of, the ET is not going to feel too effective against?
PSG LGD turn
but heroes not done well, so I don't think you care at all.
Some Willow.
No, right?
No, we don't see too much of that here in the groups.
No, I like it though. Hero that works well with ET because ET Spirit on top of a Willow. Willow's going to be able to solo kill even some cores in some situations because it's such absurd damage. Great control versus Storm and IO.
10 seconds remaining.
Crazy amount of team fight already from PSG LGD, while Elephants, their first 2 picks are not team fight.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, you would expect Elephant to start to have some sort of team fight emphasis here with this next pick. Expect Elephant. Why is PSG LGD when they come
really interesting because it's sometimes a little
draft
heroes, Tiny especially relies early on having the mana pool, and this is something that teams do.
Wow, there they go. Just gonna say
Beast Coast को देखना पड़ेगा. All of my cards are of Beast. 3 card Beast Coast का. और इधर में Zing Q और
Sure.
LGD will
5
have a
seconds
massive
remaining.
team fight advantage. Mars doing now. He fixed his win rate a little bit. He gone up a little. He's like a 30, right? Yeah. He was approaching the 15-12% win rates yesterday, but.
D. Add to this, I mean, Harry, would you be looking at this game? What would see?
You know already your lanes, so.
Yeah, you know what's going on here.
You know what you're playing against. I mean, Mars. The thing they don't know is what carry Eurus is playing against, which I think he's going to play something like Jug, honestly, when I see ET and Willow, but it's that Mars.
Do you think they need a little bit more lockdown for the Storm?
The roots are nice, RP's nice.
Yeah.
Stop
it! Not feeling too fussed about trapping the Storm when they got the Willow.
Might still do something like Sanking. Maybe they don't want to reveal the mid, though. They might not want to reveal which one's which yet. I actually think we've seen Magnus carry, if I'm not mistaken, too. I think we saw it at least once this turn. Which I think I wouldn't put it past GLGD if they do it.
Yeah, they could definitely try.
Yep. Tanky Bruiser. Always these tanky heroes versus Storm Spirit's always nice. Anna. I think that's probably what they're discussing right now. It's like, do we want to reveal
they want to show it.
which one's going to be the core and which one's
ban.
going to be the mid? And yeah, so they do. So
Nice,
they save it.
that.
Yep. So you know this is now a Morphling as the carry. However, you don't know where Magnus is. So yeah, that's pick. And now they have the Morph Willow combo. Oh, late game, Aghanims with Morphling, with Willow, with ET Spirit to give vision, because that's also one of the important things is I think teams and people don't really think about is Morph Willow is strong, obviously with Aghs, but you need a vision hero, somebody to provide you so you can, you know, actually get the attacks off. ET does that, and he also makes the attack do even more damage.
No, it's really, and it's going to be hard to catch this Morph, right? I mean, when you're running a lineup as Elephant is with 2 supports, no lockdown.
Yep. And he can
other than the silence and the curse, but obviously, yeah, no sort of instant stun or hold to catch this. A lot of pressure on the Mars and to help.
No stun supports is always a big concern for me when I see.
Sure, you know, Willow's going to be disappearing into the shadow realm. Magnus is going to be skewering away. Morph's going to be zipping about with the waveform.
He's going to be waveforming over the Mars ulti into the back line in a lot of situations.
Could be hard to catch him here. See what Elephant do.
PSG LGD turn to ban.
The offlane.
They get to pick and choose now. They're gonna have all the information as PSG LGD where they want to put it.
Yeah.
This is like the dream setup for them, really. Well, they even have Morph ET, dude. They have Morph ET and Morph Will. He can even Aghs into either of them.
Yeah, it's
5 seconds remaining.
It's a very strong Morph game here.
Yeah. It looks quite free, to be honest. I think
what can they pick as their last pick, Elephant? It's going to make you feel that now that the Morphling's actually going to have a bit of something to deal with.
What carry is it that makes him feel?
Yeah, what carry has a good heads up against a Morph?
There's not many that just straight head-to-head matchup with him. I mean, Storm Spirit could, Spectre, because of the heroes that they have. That's the one that I'm leaning on. But their lineup looks weird. They have a spear and a vortex for the fight, but I don't think the carry is going to be the one to fix all that. So something that he feels is just going to be strong in the actual game. I don't know. The only reason I say Spectre is because of the initiation, right? Because then they have global, they have Haunt, they get the backlines. But even then, I'm looking at backlines. I don't know if Spectre even wants to play.
5 seconds remaining.
Not sure what
Elephant's turn to pick.
Van Weaver. The other one I was saying was Jug earlier, but that one still also feels very risky.
Yeah, it's a nasty lineup.
And you don't know what you're laning against. I'm against Magnus or I'm against whatever, like the last pick.
10 seconds
what do you think
remaining.
is more likely here from PSG?
I think it's likely the Magnus.
LGD.
Something last for nothing to say that he likes. Something versus Ursula. Can't go for his Tinker because that Storm's there. But now that maybe pushes them away from wanting.
I mean, they've not got a lot of cash.
10 seconds remaining.
Quite happy playing like an Ember mid this.
5 seconds remaining.
More root, you know. How are they going to catch us? It's sort of, again, I think you want to play on the elusiveness here. yourself another slippery hero. As Elephant.
You may now select
So they are
your
putting Mag
heroes.
mid and they're putting CK top.
Okay. Both beyond here on the Chaos Knight.
Well, I like C. Have we gotten to see much CK?
Yeah,
I think it has
CK.
picked. I think it has had again.
Yes, I think we did
I
have.
don't think it was one of the unpicked.
He had one of the highest GPMs as well
Yeah.
when he was picked.
He
Yeah,
did have the
yesterday
one
he was
that-
picked, and it
Oh,
was
damn.
East Coast, so that was K1 probably playing it, right?
Oh damn.
Right, yeah.
No.
CK last pick here for PSG.
Elephant can't win.
That's annoying for Ursa. Just the constant stuns.
Sure.
Even he can trail back. There's a lot of damage in that top lane too.
Yeah, it really is. Well, I think it's going to be a tough one for Elephant.
This looks really tough for Elephant.
Kal guy messed up.
I feel like Armin's just going to get out of control in this more.
I think
How
Armin's
on earth
gonna
are they
get
gonna
out of
kill this
control,
ball?
and even the Faith Beyond, if he gets some farm, I don't see good ways for them to even clear Phantasm.
And the team fight is fantastic. I mean, obviously Elephant do have the counter team fight a little bit with the
Yes.
silencer.
If they can initiate
globals,
and they
you know.
can slow down, like if they can initiate and they can get that first Roche
Yeah.
and then just always play around those globals and looking to get those pickoffs on the side lanes, I could see a possibility of them doing it. But I actually think LGD's got such a damn good draft, and the way that they set it up was perfect. Like getting Ame more, saving this last pick to just know exactly what you want to lane versus the Ursa.
I mean, what do you think sort of Elephant feels that the last precursor is going to do for them here? Like, why did they end? What did they see that made them feel that Eurus could have a good game here on the Ursa?
Probably just tempo. Like we need to win the
Play
game
fast.
by 25-30 and have a huge advantage by 25-30, and we're just losing this game. So I think that's probably the only thing that I can see.
Wow. PSG Elephant. PSG LGD already secured that top spot. of the group.
Prepare for
This
battle.
game series very important for Elephant here. As they are still very much in the fight.
Player with most last hits at 7 minutes.
Get themselves that slot in the upper bracket.
Mars या फिर CK
I
होगा.
gotta be honest.
Chaos
This is
Knight.
a super aggressive lane coming out from the side of PSG LGD.
है ना?
Silencers sometimes can just.
पहले फाइट हो गया, 2 फर्स्ट ब्लड हो गया.
And immediately now we see Curse is skilled. So the other thing I was going to say, depending on what super skills is going to determine how much you can actually trade with the Willow. Once you skill Curse, you can't trade with Willow on the side ever again. If you're able to get Glaives in the lane, then you can actually trade. But Willow, as we know, base attack time is super fast. So Silencer struggles.
30
to trade us.
seconds to
1.22 attack speed on Silencer, 1.11. So I think that lane could be quite difficult. And yeah, right off the bat, I mean, getting first blood. Gets it. No.
Okay. Team with first Roshan, Elephant.
With that start.
How long will the game be?
He's far.
Easy fluffy hat right away.
37, 45.
वो भी हो सकता
Cheers,
है.
we're going to see Elephant come back down.
37 to
क्योंकि
45.
The battle begins.
क्योंकि मॉर्फलिंग भी है और अरसा को थोड़ा फार्म चाहिए और मॉर्फलिंग लेट गेम ही जाता है.
To see how much you can keep that pressure off you on bottom. Too fun here for the this laning stage.
It really does sound quite difficult.
Yeah, how much?
CK is quite a beast. I know we haven't seen him too much in the offlane, but I've been hoping to see
Secret Fanatic बीच को दोनों ready है.
frustrating inside of laning.
दोनों का ड्राफ्ट हो गया, जल्दी करना पड़ेगा.
But then at least the nice part is that he does have that Bane corrupt things a little bit, and that should allow him to get the BK off. But the question is DJ gonna get enough to like not just get blown up, right? Like what happens if backline?
I mean, they've done this before, right? They had the same combo, Jazz Prophet, Death Tide, and Chuan on the Storm when they defeated Elephant. It was a shaky game. It came down to like a 40-minute team fight or something, around 35 minutes where they managed to take it, and then they finally had like the massive lead. So you see them kind of slow roll this one after that initial sort of like group up and push that you can do with the Nature's Prophet. And let's see what Jeff does, because Jeff also went very super aggressive into Agams on the support Prophet last time with the shard there too. So obviously one of the best parts about Nature's Prophet is
Oh, for player with highest total magic damage done by 10 minutes.
Which is kind of cool because the Mech Prophet used to be pretty nice, but then it got a little too expensive.
Disruptor
So I would say that like Mech still viable.
Magic or pure damage?
Orchid builds are still viable.
He was
No, it's not. I mean, viable.
It's definitely viable. If you guys can find one, grab it, please.
Really
if you want to wait for
Okay. Total number of.
You know, I heard there was a Book of the Dead that really stole the show.
You went to the last one.
I think that part of that was just
Sven.
So Synderen, you mean?
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. But I heard there was like screaming. I think the construction workers in the arena were terrified. They didn't understand what Book of the Dead was, and this madman was just like,
The Necronomicon.
"Let's do it, the Book of the
26 to 40.
I love that.
They thought he'd like dusted off some tome upstairs in the arena.
40 deaths matlab
He was
20
a warlock summoning some
21
gold.
2020.
Ah, warlock. Oh,
2020.
उससे ज़्यादा होगा
hasn't been picked yet, I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah, Atomic Warp.
Done,
you
कर दिए.
folks out there, Dota fans, we've got a great game getting ready to get
That's the spirit.
Disruptor back into this one. Fnatic versus Team Secret.
Now I'm saying I have the hero predictions over on my monitor, but if I did, who do you guys think would be the player with the highest total magic or pure damage done to heroes by 10 minutes?
That is, minutes is a rough one.
And it's magic or pure, so you gotta think about like who has that annoying magic damage in the laning stage.
Yes.
Sometimes if someone throws out, I feel like it's probably
10 minutes
Storm with like...
Hunter.
You know what's
Stunned and caught.
This is the other thing.
I think miss हो गया है 5 seconds दिखा रहा था हाँ miss हो गया
Sheesh.
5 seconds में मेरा oh
So you have to.
This is it.
And that's
To stave off elimination.
I mean, this is Quincy Crew.
Beyond wanted to go for the kill onto Super, and Shinkyu was kind of like second guessing himself. As the root catches though.
Oh, it does.
Super.
Dragged back into another route as well.
last hit at 7 minutes madness
Oh, sweet. Too bad for you.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They're playing
He wanted to die.
Alright, well, Eurus was able to take him down before Super went out, so Jinkyu got himself some nice solo XP.
Right, like that literally looked like
he knew he that was not a trade that you come out of alive. You go into that fight to die.
Shinkyu, you'll get the lane. You're fine.
But you're right, I mean, they were both very low. They didn't have any regen on them.
He didn't want to spend any money on regen either. I thought he might spend his 900 gold on like a Helm of Iron Will or something like that, but nope. He was like, I'm buying boots, I'm buying wand, and I'm buying gloves. And I'm just gonna die, and I just want to fight rather than go for farm. To be honest. To say.
Double damage.
Sonos might have this. He's got
He's got it, and the RP gets used.
Oh, they have
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
मर गया
That's huge. Solo kill.
Dire's structures are fortified.
LGD. Very nice. Number Sonos in bottom lane. They're able to kill off Fate Beyond again.
And it's a +2 that
mid lane. Why?
Dire's middle tower is under
I actually
attack.
really like that. We've been seeing a lot of these 5-position silencers just go 2-0-2. In this lane, I think this is really appropriate getting 1 point because Chaos Knight is a hero that starves on mana. You kill him once or twice, his mana away, you get him that -2, he will start to suffer on this spell. I do like this super.
नहीं लास्ट हिट वाला पता नहीं
Stupendous.
4 लास्ट हिट और अरे 2 से
वो हम chaos knight को दिए
Radiant's middle tower is under
chaos knight को दिए
तो chaos knight बहुत
jeez
Careful down in the bottom lane of Eurus off the back of those kills.
कहाँ खेल रहा है chaos knight
For 6.
off lane में
As easy to punish the bear as it was before.
And all 3 lanes gone in.
off lane में last hits
Be said about that because these lanes on paper, I don't think they're easy, but Elephant playing very, very smart.
But Yang barely missing any CS. He literally got every single one out of the tower there, even the catapult too. He's got treads, he's got double gauntlet bracer, all about the early base damage. Ame not behind by exactly the same as the Ursa. Come on. Bottom. IOTP coming in.
Stomp is out. Stop the chase for now. It's over the stun, but of course no fireman. FGOG to run back in on him. With Faith beyond safe though, PSGOGD. Just gonna take that walk back to base. This game's certainly being slowed down now.
अच्छा इसमें एक नया आया है
Well, not the best.
number of tiny avalanche slash toss combo
Afterwards.
beast coast वाला में एक नया prediction है
In full power
मतलब
spread,
दिन
2 points in
लोगों
chaos
को
strike.
पता है कि tiny pick हुआ है उसी तरह वो लोग एक prediction भी change कर दिए
Jogar extremamente recuado, igual comentei antes, né, sobre a troca de atributos. Só que eu não sei, eu tenho minhas dúvidas, porque o Marklin, ele
Radiant's
poderia ir pra uma
courier
build
has been
talvez de
killed.
shotgun, né? Mas agora ele provavelmente vai pra uma build já de BKB ou de Sanjay Nyasha, pra dar esse
Sitting on
sustain.
1300 HP. Out the jungle, seeing if stacks. Did not see.
Lindsay वाला तो draft ही हो रहा है अभी तक
Top tower is under attack.
Looking around with Eurus, but a little less.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's
Expecting that he
bottom
had the
tower
ult.
is under
Maybe
attack.
could have still been able to walk away with that up.
Somnus is about to steal the triple stack. He's found it.
Dire's top tower
There
is
it
under attack.
Great start with that lane, that kill.
All of Y's work, it's just taken away. He does find 2 neutral items, found himself
Dire's
an arcane
top
range,
tower
found himself a
is
shovel,
under
sends him
attack.
back to base. Now also pressure by a little.
Waters
But now they
rise.
know those stacks are stolen, so likely to be kind of sad on the side of PSG LGD. But Ame now making his way toward bottom side. He's just farming ancients since he knows his jungle's not safe. And Yang will take top tower.
Dire's top tower
Very
has
early.
fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under
Timing on his
attack.
blink. And we did say that Elephant looked to pick this strategy for early game.
Yeah.
So they're able to get that early blink timing. If Eurus has a good
Radiant's
start, they
middle
can
tower is under attack.
Stop. TP coming in from Yang. Into the arena. Root is out. He's going to step into the room, so won't be able to close the gap.
A lot of rotations coming. Elephant. And now Ame is able to. So something you don't really see too often is the carries going back up that up lane, even though it's that far pushed in. It could be some not safe.
There we go. They got the champion lockdown there. RP into the fair. Nothing to be done there.
No way he gets out of there. That port bottom was maybe a bit ambitious on the side of Elephant. It got seen, it got stopped, and now LGD with that information made some big hits, sending the Morphling top to get free, hitting and killing the Storm Spirit.
okay मेरा
And they're getting
जो
sacked
दो
meantime from in the triangle.
3 beast coast का picks था वो लोग
Dire's
ठीक ही खेल रहे
structures
हैं
are
Punish the tower
fortified.
here again.
Oh.
They know RP is down.
Whisper, Chris Luck और Schofield तो tiny है तो मारना ही पड़ेगा अब tiny लिए हो अब मारोगे नहीं तो ऐसे कैसे होगा अच्छा रुशियन का नेट ठीक हो गया पता है इसीलिए वो आया था I don't know GTA क्यों आया था नहीं GTA देख रहा था वो खेलने रहा था
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Now too. Yep, Yank got it
Coin
done.
for me.
Super was not in range.
A bounty which my matriarch will prize.
Nice hit from both sides. Nothing to say, it's just playing the farm game. I think PSG LGD knows. Like, they know if they play the farm game, they're going to win in later stages. So it's really up to Elephant to dictate pace and make all these successful movements, which they have been doing. Mid tower and top tower is a really important one. That is a huge courier kill. That is the defusal from the Earth of...
Where was he?
He was farm ancients on the map.
एक और राइट क्लिक हीरो जो हम ट्राई कर सकते हैं वो है Chaos Knight
His whole team is smoking in the air.
I've been wanting this.
हाँ पता है रीजन कराता है
They got any follow though?
Dyer's
Here I am. We'll take him out of the fight for now. Somnus thinks about his life. Well, Baby has been found in. Catches FY. As FY goes down.
Beautiful.
पोजीशंस दिखाइए इसमें क्या था एलिफेंट वाला
Doesn't matter, you're still able to stay on top of this fight.
Big play. On Super. Massive global there. Turned around the entire initiation of PSG LGD. They would lost both of their cores.
Okay, जिस तरह का
didn't get the global off there.
जिस तरह का फाइट्स हो रहा है I don't think ये 44 तक जाएगा
When his courier respawns, they'll have an Oakland plus the defusal. It's right around
13 minutes में ऐसा फाइट्स हो रहा है
They're a little careful though with the respawns by the looks of it. PSG
Oh damn.
They should still be able to commit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. अब क्या कर सकते हैं prediction wrong.
And also did different builds. He did G for for 2 points in spirit in the laning phase. Then go back full recharge. And got it. Don't ring, burn, and then every single but so far it's been wholly locked.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
A little bit of a different pile.
Yours is low, but just done that courier back up, so the defuse is ready to go.
They got quite a timing now. What is it?
Touché.
दो करेक्ट हुआ उर्सा वाला भी करेक्ट ही होना चाहिए
I keep checking to make sure.
क्योंकि वो मार तो रहा है हाँ मार तो रहा है स्टॉर्म स्पिरिट मैजिकल करता है ना स्टॉर्म स्पिरिट मैजिकल डैमेज ना करता है
पहले तक
His basic attacks are physical, no? डैमेज टू हीरोज है भैया वो डैमेज टू क्रीप्स नहीं है जो उसको मिल जाएगा उर्सा को घुसना पड़ेगा फाइट्स में बहुत ज्यादा
We're going to see just a lot of creep hitting from the side of PSG LGD for 5 minutes until they actually have counters this global.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Euros?
Yeah.
Able to quite stop it. Close, but Euros will move himself up. That's the bottom lane.
यहाँ पे सब
About 1600 call off the BKB. Have that definitely before the Aegis times out. Having the opportunity to look for fights during it. Yeah,
Radiant are scanning.
He's out with a blink. So PSG LGD is avoiding any sort of conflict right now. No interest in fighting them.
Yep. They do have the blink on the Magnus, so they could look to set up RPs if they see somebody split off completely on the side. But so there's a global, so more than like, so if you blink RPs,